Welcome back, mathematicians. So for this week's word problem, and actually for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be focusing a little bit on Mother's Day, just because it's coming up. And guess what? You're not going to have our help. Normally we begin our Mother's Day projects like a month in advance, and that's because I think for the past few years have planted some seeds and let them grow, and then painted the little pots and did a little poem or something, gave it to your moms. And then last year Mrs. Curra's class did this really cute project with Shrinkadinks and kind of made these little Mother's Day cards on a keychain that turned out to be really cool. And we're going to do that this year, but with the quarantine, again, a lot of these projects are going to fall on you guys to do at home, so don't forget about your moms. And we're going to be coming up with a lot of videos and ideas to help you out. But one of the things that Ms. Juarez said that I kind of goofed on is that a couple of weeks ago, actually a couple months ago in February, I had ordered a lot of mint. And for example, like this, because my idea was for us to get a little bit of mint, because Miss Barbara taught me this, where you can strip a little bit of mint from the base and regrow it. And I was gonna have all of us in our class watch those grow and then pot those in a plant for your moms. So for this week's word problem, it's going to be a mint problem, because again, my idea was going to be something a little bit corny, like you were meant to be my mom and I was meant to be your son or daughter. It was going to be really cute. Trust, it sounds corny, but it was going to be really cute. So for this week's word problem, we're going to figure out how many mint stems we can plant from each pot, because from what I learned from Miss Barbara, you can actually get quite a few plants. You don't need to buy a whole pot like this to regrow them. You can use each individual one, and that can give you a lot of mint. So are you ready to work with me? Okay. So again, what she taught me is that if you have a mint plant, you can cut it off at the base, put it in water, and I'll show you a video that I found on YouTube that also talks about this, and then watch it grow for a little bit until you see a root, and then you can put it in soil and pot it. So if I were to look at this plant, for example, that I have here, I would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little mint plants in one pot. So if I have 8 plants in one pot and I had maybe 2 pots like this, and they each had 8 little stems, how many little stems would I have? Think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if this were to have the same amount, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they were to have the same amount and I wanted to find out how many pots I can get from both of these, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 2 pots would give me 16 little mint plants if I were to regrow them the way that Miss Barbara taught me. So for this week's word problem, we're going to find out how many mint plants we can regrow from the stems. Okay? Okay, mathematicians, so let's think about this problem. And we're going to read the problem all together and then look at it part by part this time. Ready? So Miss Juarez bought blank mint plants. She can cut blank stems to grow more mint plants. How many mint stems can she cut from all the plants? So let's think about what is happening in this problem. I'm actually going to draw it out for you. Ready? So if you've ever been to a nursery, or if you paid attention to the video that is, well, to the beginning of this video, then you'll see that the mint that I bought looks something like this. where it had 8 stems, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with leaves like this. A lot of you have probably seen mint before, if not from this video, then from your home. A lot of families in our community like to drink desde hierba buena y hacer tecitos. They like to put mint in lemonade. It's a very popular plant just because it smells really good. But it's also really popular because it's easy to regrow, kind of like what I said in the video. It's easy to cut up part of the mint and make more plants from one entire plant. So you can take one entire plant, you can take your scissors and cut part of the plant off, put it in water, wait until it grows a root, and then actually plant that part of the stem to make more plants. So that is what's happening in this problem. So let's read it again just to make sure we understand what's happening, okay? So Miss Juarez bought some mint plants. Can you picture that in your heads? If not, go back to the beginning of this video so you can see like the mint plants that I bought. Now, I can cut a few stems to grow more mint plants. So if I can cut at least one stem from each one that I saw from here, then I can cut 8 stems to grow 8 more plants from this one pot. Do you think you understand that? You want me to explain it again one more time? I'm more than happy to, okay? So let's think about this problem again. I bought lots of pots of mint because again, I was planning to use these for the Mother's Day project that we were going to do in my classroom. And I didn't want to spend too much money on this project. So one tip that I got from Miss Barbara is that if I took one pot of mint and I cut part of the stem off, I can regrow those stems to make more plants from this one pot. So in this problem again, I bought some mint plants and I realized, or well, with Miss Barbara's help, I realized that I can cut part of the stems to grow more mint plants. So how many mint stems can I cut from all the plants? Think about that question again. How many mint stems can I cut from all the plants? From this one plant, I can cut 8 stems from this one plant. Okay. Now that we've read the problem all together, let's look at it again this time, piece by piece. Because I know for some of you, seeing this problem all together might be a little bit confusing. It might be overwhelming. So it's great to take it slow and look at it part by part to think about what information we're getting from the problem, what is the problem telling us, and what it is that we really need to do ourselves. What is the work that we're about to do as mathematicians? What do we need to find out? Ready? Okay, so now let's look at the problem part by part. Ready? So, Miss Juarez bought blank mint plants. So in this part of the problem, my number set, the first number in my number set is going to represent the mint plants that I bought. So this part of the problem is going to represent the mint plants. Can we read that part together now? Miss Juarez bought blank mint plants. We don't know yet how many mint plants I bought. I'm just showing you what it is that this part of the problem is telling us, what information that we're getting from this part of the problem. The problem is going to give us this information, how many mint plants. Ready? let's look at the next part. She can cut blank stems to grow more mint plants. So in this part of the problem, the second number in the number set is going to represent, don't mind my scissors, I know they look a little bit funny, how many stems I can cut from each plant. You see that, mathematicians? Can you picture that in your head now? Again, Miss Juarez bought blank mint plants, and she can cut blank stems to grow more mint plants. So let's look at the next part, the question. Ready? How many mint stems, so not plants, we're looking at the stems, can she cut from all the plants? From all the plants. So let's think about that question. How many mint stems can she cut from all the plants? So if I were looking at this problem and doing maybe this number set, sorry, let me rewrite that, because this is not, what I was about to write was 8 and 1, and this does not represent this picture. It does not represent it, so I'm going to scratch that off. So let's look at this number set. If we were to read this problem with that number set in mind, it would be Miss Juarez bought 1 mint plant, and she can cut 8 stems to grow more mint plants. So how many mint stems can she cut from all the plants? Well, since I only bought 1 plant, then the mint stems that I can cut are only 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's what I wrote down here. Interesting. So do you think you have a better understanding of what this problem is, is asking you to do? If not, that's okay. We're going to do the first problem set together. Ready? So the first problem set we're going to have is actually going to be 2, 8. And I'm going to make a quick annotation again right here, just so I remember what each number represents. So Miss Juarez bought blank mint plants. So the 2 is going to represent the milk plants that I bought, and I bought 2. And then she can cut blank stems to grow more mint plants. And the 8 is going to actually represent how many stems I can cut from each mint plant that I got. And remember, mathematicians, we have to think about the words that we're using. And in this problem, it's very important to have the understanding that a stem and a plant are not the same thing. A stem, mathematicians, is kind of like each individual part. So this would be a stem, and then this would be a plant. And they look very similar, except one important distinction is a stem. You usually have it cut off from the plant and it has no roots. But right here, a plant is usually something that we still have roots for, and it's still in the ground or still has some kind of dirt on it. So it's not the same thing. So you really have to understand not just what's happening in the problem, but the vocabulary in the problem. So remember, stem and plants. So in this problem, I bought 2 plants, and I can cut 8 stems to make some new plants. Ready? So I'm going to think about how I'm going to solve that problem. So let me think. You know what? Just like last week, I'm going to use 2 strategies to represent my thinking. Because remember, we really want you to show your thinking. And if you're someone that can only show their thinking right now by drawing a picture, then go ahead and do it. But also challenge yourself to use a different strategy. So that's what I'm going to do actually. For the first strategy I'm going to represent, I'm going to draw a picture. And I'm not going to draw the leaves for the plants just because it might take me too long. And again, I'm still very aware that I'm drawing a picture, but I can also draw a picture and be efficient about it at the same time. So that's my first plant, and that's my second plant. So I need to think about how many stems I can cut from all the plants that I bought. Ready? So I can cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So in total, I can cut 16 stems to make new plants. Okay, now I have to think about what's another way that I can show my thinking. Well, I did count by ones technically when I did this. So, you know what? Maybe I can count in a more efficient way. I'm thinking maybe I can use my knowledge of counting by twos to show the same idea, but in a different way. So ready? So for my first plant, I had 2, 4, 6, 8 stems. I'm gonna put that for my first plant. For my second plant, I also had 2, 4, 6, 8, but I'm noticing right here that I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So I'm going to actually keep counting on, but count on only 4 numbers. Ready? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I can cut a total of 16 stems. I still got the same answer, and one reason why I really encourage you to try to show 2 strategies when demonstrating your thinking is just to double check your work. Remember, mathematicians love to double check their work. It is very beneficial. It makes you smarter when you do that. So let me think. To get full credit on an assignment, not only do I have to show my work, I also have to write a number sentence. So let me do that. Well, let's see. Did you already see the video I posted along today where I'm talking about what it actually means when we write the symbol like this in a number sentence? If you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch this. Well, go ahead and watch that video after looking at this one. So I'm going to remember that understanding, that learning that I had in that video to use this symbol correctly and with understanding. Ready? So I know this means 2 groups of something and that I'm adding that number, well, that I'm adding something twice. See, so I bought 2 plants and I counted the same number 2 times actually. So let me think about that again. I also sometimes have to think back to exactly how to use this correctly. Ready? So let's see. When I use the symbol times, it means that I'm adding the same number again multiple times. So let me see. I counted what number multiple times? Well, there were 8 in this plant and 8 in this plant. So I counted the 8 2 times. Did you see that? I could also write the number sentence 8 plus 8 because that technically is the same thing. I put 2 8s together to solve this number set. So there we go. So I have my work, I have my number sentence, and now I'm going to write an explanation. To get full credit on this assignment, you also have to write an explanation. Some of you are skipping that part. Don't forget to explain your thinking. Ready? So I'm going to choose one of my strategies to write an explanation for. I think I'm going to try the second one this time. Ready? So first I drew 2 boxes to represent the plants. Then I counted by 2s in the first box until I got to 8. Then in the second box, I counted on 4 more numbers and got 16. So Miss Juarez can cut 16 stems from all the plants. Okay. So let's see. I showed my work, I have a number sentence, and I wrote an explanation for this number set. Don't forget, for this assignment, you have to try to do at least 4 number sets. So let's look at what your number choices are going to be for this problem. Ready? So these are going to be your first choices, and I'm not sure if you can actually see it from this point of view in the camera if I don't put it up here, and I want to make sure you see your number sets. Ready? So in the first number set, which is the one we did, Miss Juarez bought 2 mint plants, and I can cut 8 more mint. Oh, sorry, I can cut. Let me go back and reread. Ready? So in the first number set, which is the one we practiced, I bought 2 mint plants, and I can cut 8 stems to grow more mint plants. In the second number set, I bought 4 mint plants, sorry, it's a little late, and I can cut 8 stems. And the third number set, I bought 6 mint plants, and I can cut 8 stems. In the fourth number set, I bought 8 mint plants, and I can cut 8 stems. So these are your first number choices. You can also do some number choices from this one if you want, or you can even do all of them for more practice. I encourage you to do that. Ready? And technically the fifth number set, I bought 2 mint plants, and I can cut 12 stems. For this one, I bought 4 mint plants, and I can cut 12 stems. I bought 6 mint plants, and I can cut 12 stems. And for this last one, I bought 8 mint plants, and I can cut 12 stems. I realized that this problem that I chose may be one of the hardest ones to understand, but I also wanted it to be relevant, and I have all this mint in my backyard now. So I'm going to attach a video that shows exactly what it is that's happening in this problem. Go ahead and watch it. The more you try to understand what is happening in the problem, the better. It is not a great idea to jump into a problem without understanding it. That's why we focus so much on first unpacking the problem, thinking really hard as to what the problem is asking us to do and the information that we're getting from the problem before we go ahead and do it. So if you're someone who thinks you're ready to go ahead and start doing your math, then go ahead, get your notebook and start your work. If not, rewatch the video, look at the video that I'm linking below, and don't start until you kind of get what exactly is happening in this problem. Remember, comprehension is what we want you to focus on. Okay? Well, Thank you for working with me today. I can't wait to see what it is that you do for your homework. I'll see you later.